Right, so top story at this hour, the Thabo Bester case has been postponed. The Bloemfontein Magistrate's Court has granted that Bester's lawyers, advocate Jeremiah Pela and instructing attorney Tsireledzo Ndou, be recused from the case. Ndou is facing assault and attempted rape charges, whilst Pela faces fraud charges. Both lawyers insist that they don't see why their personal cases will have an impact on the Bester escape case. Bester made a brief virtual court appearance this morning, but the matter has been postponed to the 8th of August 2023. Right, so we're now joined via Zoom by legal analyst Elton Hart to weigh in on the developments of the Thabo Bester prison escape case. Elton, good afternoon. Thank you for your time with us here on the SABC.
Good afternoon, Lisa, and good afternoon to the viewers.
So it seems yet again Bester's lawyers have dropped, and we'll have new lawyers who perhaps still need time to be furnished with the details of the case. Is this a strategy to keep delaying the process with a new legal team from time to time? Help us understand what's happening.
Now, obviously, I would say that if a legal representative is also standing trial at this point in time, it's best for them to actually focus on their personal matter than to be involved in another matter. Not that I'm saying the guys will not be able to handle it, but it's just not to sort of have... let the process not lose credibility because they are already facing charges. And also when they might be found guilty and sentenced to direct imprisonment, if then a new lawyer needs to come on board, then it will delay the case again because you'll have to start the whole process from scratch to give them discovery of documents, to give them time to consult with the witnesses, consult with the client, all those things, instead of just having somebody on board now that doesn't have any pending cases against him or her, to take on the matter and run with it so that we can get to the trial stage much quicker because South Africa is vested in this case.
No, absolutely. I think the other question is how these dynamics impact the case at large, and will we see accountability, perhaps know what actually happened for justice to prevail at this point?
No, indeed so. And obviously, and we also hear that the NPA is now make it known to the public that they expect 3 further arrests. That in itself, for that attorneys to come on record to have bail applications done for the 3 accused, or maybe not, but for them record would all mean on August. I think that August is going to 100% sure by now it's in August. And we might further delay it. I don't see this trial starting in 2023. I'm looking somewhere in 2024 that this trial will really get to a point where we can say now we will hear evidence as to what really transpired at MMC.
Elton, we are struggling to hear you due to some technical issues, but I'm going to perhaps pose the next question and let's see if we're able to sort that out. The state mentioned a request for Bester to appear physically in court at his next appearance, with the prosecutor saying that they had no objection to this request. What's the difference at this stage?
No, obviously, if they ask for a virtual appearance, there cannot be an objection or a problem. It just depends on if the defense team is going to come and say, listen, yeah, we want our client in court because there's some technical and logistical issues and short instructions that we need to get from the client pertaining to issues that circumstantial issues that we need to clear up, then we need to ask them to actually just sort it out. But to do it virtually would then be infringing upon the right of the accused person. We're not saying that he did it or did not do it. We need to treat him fair. And I think that's maybe where they request that he would be physically in court, but that's from the defense team. If the prosecution is because they're looking at maybe there's dangers in transporting him there, and they need to then say to the court why they feel like he might escape or he has made attempts to escape. So it's between those two things that one needs to look at the defense and the accused's rights to actually be able to give his lawyers prompt instructions while the matter is before court.
And then just very quickly, Elton, before I let you go, Dr. Magutumana abandoned her bail bid to challenge her arrest and apprehension in Tanzania. Is this something that she will relook at a later stage? Help us also understand those dynamics.
No, what I think is like we're still waiting for the Supreme Court of Appeal to rule on if her detention and her arrest was lawful or unlawful. If this, what the state authorities did was unlawful, then it means that they have to release her. Then she doesn't need to apply for bail application. So I think it works in her case, because the moment she says, I'm going to apply for bail, and to apply for bail, then it means that she sort of perhaps concedes to the jurisdiction of the court. And I think it was like sort of strategically done that she did not go for a bail application and instead challenged the lawfulness of her arrest and detention and bringing back to South Africa. So I think she's waiting patiently for the Supreme Court of Appeal. Only maybe once the Supreme Court of Appeal has ruled and said your detention was lawful, it was unlawful, she's going to make her next move. But for now, I think she should not apply for bail, because then she would then sort of half subject and agree with the jurisdiction of this court.
Elton, thank you for your time with us here on the SABC. Perhaps also weighing in on the matters. We heard Elton Hart, as a legal analyst, just weighing on the Thabo Bester case. As we heard today, it has been postponed to the 8th of August. The Bloemfontein Magistrate's Court have granted Bester's lawyers, Advocate Pela, as well as attorney Ndou, to be recused from the case as it stands.